traders from across the globe, and welcome to the 1399th edition of Short-Term Trading Live with O.Carboni, and of course that would be me. Good evening, traders. Wow, 1,399 educational videos geared to teach you the art of technical analysis. Remember, we are the short-term traders with the long-term plan, right? Our plan is to be here, stay here, and be here 10 years from now. So use your analysis, put your stops in, make sure you know that futures trading is extremely risky, causes substantial financial loss, is not suitable for all traders, and the stop is your best friend. If you know that, you might actually be here 10 years from now like the rest of us Omniacs will. All right, traders, so what's going on? We're starting off with a red Omni in the emini S&P, NASDAQ in the Russell, in the gold, and a stock called BIIB, Biogen. The difference is we're staying red Omni in GC, we're staying red Omni in BIIB. We're not sure if the whole day will be a red Omni in ES and NASDAQ. As you know lately, you can't count on any one direction. But in my last video, you've seen me remove do not fall in love with the downside off the board. I'm not ready to put do not fall in love with the upside on the board yet, but if you watched Tuesday's action, you would recognize that the market took off all day, turned around, and dumped at the end of the day and made new lows. Do not fall in love with the upside. Who knows if that's going to end up on my board, but so far, the markets have respected the fact that I took do not fall in love with the downside off the board, and we've had quite the plunge since my Thursday's video for Friday's trading. Traders, let's get right into this now. I've got a lot of charts I want to show you. The topics on the board are this. The Russell and the transportation average are still leading the way in U.S. indices and leading the way down. Your E-mini S&P and your NASDAQ should follow. The gold hunt remains in full swing, and boy, have we been beating the crap out of that gold market. Omni's just been beating it to death. Go Omni. And Biogen, BIIB, we've had a master killer trade in BIIB. We will continue selling rallies in BIIB, and possibly we will do that on Wednesday. Traders, come on down to livewithoscar.com. Come into my free trading room. Allow me to teach you the art of technical analysis the way I've learned it, the way I apply it, the way I teach my Omniacs how to get in and out of their trades. With no further ado, let's go look at some charts. Traders, a very familiar chart. The three little flags. Does anybody remember this transportation average? I used it. I can't tell you how many times we called it the new chart masterpiece. And what you seen was that there were three flags, not four, and we called it the three little flags. Well, guess what? A fourth flag has formed right here. Bear flag 1, it drops to bear flag 2, drops down to bear flag 3, drops down to what we call bear flag 4, and you should get further drop from the bear flag like you did from the 3 in front of it. But there's more. Exact same chart. Throw my OTAPMA over it, the Omni Trading Academy's proprietary moving average, and you'll note that once we got under it, we came all the way back up and hit it right here, failed, came back up again, missed hitting it here, and we are on our way back down. So you failed here, you hit it here and failed, you didn't even hit it there, you hit the top of the flag and dropped, and now it looks like we're on our way down. So the Omni Trading Academy's proprietary moving average, keeping pressure on the transportation average weekly bar, as well as now it's in a fourth bear flag. And then when we overlay another average over it, this is important. Take a look at this. We have held this average, I cannot tell you how many times it was chart masterpiece without the flags. Then we broke it, and I drew the flag in. And we have the next flag, Well, look at what has happened since we broke the green average. We've come back to try to test it, almost got above it, failed to, and now back down here again. So we are failing miserably at this average as well as at OTAPMA. Not a very good development with the four flags there. Let's see what the tranny has in store. In my last video for Friday last week, I also showed you the Russell Weekly with the big head and shoulders. If you'll note, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? So left shoulder, head, right shoulder. This is a bearish formation if it's big enough. Should knock the market down. Interesting that we are below the Omni Trading Academy's proprietary now. Look, we are below that. So interesting that you've got a head and shoulders and you are below the O.Carboni on the right shoulder. But look at the same chart a little more closely. It's a bear flag in the right shoulder below O.Carboni. See the blue bear flag in the right shoulder below O.Carboni? Shoulder, head, shoulder. A lot going on here on the Russell Weekly. But this and the transportation average are the two charts I showed you last week before the drop started. And so far the drop, it has been continuing. So let's continue on. The Russell 2000, once again, now we'll move this to a daily from a weekly. Once again, failing at O.Carboni. And we put in what's called a reversal day today. The market opened down here, rallied all the way up, but then turned around, came all the way back down, and settled just about at its low. That's a reversal day. This very same chart I used for the opposite technique at one point. I call this an inverted head and shoulders, a bullish signal, and bullish it was. Now we're getting an upright head and shoulders. You can almost see one forming in the daily here already. You can look at that shoulder, head, shoulder. So it's getting a little bit ugly out there with these head and shoulders and failing at the O.Carboni. Let's move forward. The daily E-mini S&P. Traders, this chart has ran into some trouble at this red line here, 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 and finally on Tuesday, just yesterday morning, or today I should say, on Tuesday, it ran into that same line, and what did it do? It turned around and came all the way back near its lows, put in a new low and settled by its lows below the 200 bar moving average, also putting in a reversal day. So now look at the chart again. Stayed inside this wonderful F flag, break the F flag right here at the same spot where it runs into trouble at the red resistance. Right there. That's why it's circled. From there we start to break. Now we're below the 200. You've got to start the day off with the downside and see what happens from there, right? If we get stopped out, we'll become buyers, but we're starting off selling rallies. Then you've got the NASDAQ, exact same thing. Run into trouble, trouble, trouble. Here you ran into trouble, which is for trading Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. And you came back down and settled down here. Another reversal looking type of bar. So the dailies and the weeklies are not pointing straight up. That's for sure at our U.S. indices. Gold traders, remember this chart? You got to give this chart a round of applause. This chart, I called it an excellent tell. And I showed you back here, once we hit that average and fail, I put the box in and showed you we have a drop. Then we hit the average, I put the box in to show you we had a drop. Then we hit the average and I put a blank box in with a question mark and said, I'm bearish, Omni's bearish, this should fill in. This is where it was, and this is what happened. Put them together. My goodness, that's amazing. Look at how far we dropped. Now, this is on a weekly, and yes, it was an excellent tell. I want you to get a better view. I'm going to show you the daily. This is where it was on the daily bar, the same spot where we showed you on the weekly that we should start to drop. This is where it was on a daily bar in gold, and that is what happened. Oh my goodness, now that is movement. Technical analysis, traders, there is nothing better. Then finally, we start rolling around towards the end of these charts here. Traders, BIIB, the stock that we've been selling, got caught in this bear flag, failed miserably at this average, as it does just about every time. Failure, failure, failure. Comes down, boom, 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 gets back up, hits the average, gives me a bear flag right here. We decide time to go short. This is where it was, and this is what happened. Wow. So far, so good. And we will continue selling rallies in BIIB, looking for this to press more downside. Traders, come to livewithoscar.com and join me in my free trading room. So, traders, you've seen the chart. You've got my technical argument for why we're starting off the emini S&P and NASDAQ with a red Omni. Again, we're starting off selling the rallies. If it dips and we get out and it turns around and goes back up, we still did all right. So come to the trading room at livewithoscar.com and see how we handle these trades live. So, we are absolutely expecting the Russell and the transportation average to continue leading the way. NASDAQ and S&P should follow. You see the gold hunt should be on, right? Great gold trades. Go Omni, go. And that Biogen, BIIB, sure did follow that bear flag. You gotta love bear flags. You gotta love technical analysis. Once again, traders, come join me at livewithoscar.com. If you would like to learn this craft for yourselves, if you want to learn how to call Oscar's market navigational indicator, the Omni, for yourselves, come on down to livewithoscar.com and fill out an OmniCamp application. If you click the OmniCamp banner, fill out the application, I will call you back. OmniCamp is a 4-day live session here held in Las Vegas. I am at the helm. It's a 4-day seminar. It will start January 22nd on a Friday, go out through January 25th. If you'd like to be part of that class, come on down to livewithoscar.com or call me, 702-629-4755. All right, traders, I'll see you all at the site. Remember, keep your emotions out of trading. One of the best things you can do to help yourselves with that is say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening, and you know what that is. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Rock and roll traders, a busy week. Come on down to livewithoscar.com. Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee that you will profit from the information provided.